Hey anybody, this is JaqDanical. So if you follow me on Twitter, I said I was going to make a video tonight about how I lost $588 thanks to the Indiana Revenue Service. I'm just kind of sitting here in front of Audacity, so I have no idea what I'm going to put in the background. I want to give you guys something to look at. Maybe I'll just put like some... I've been playing Frontier Defense in Titanfall 2. And I've been thinking about recording some of that. Like, I don't want to trail off too much, just... That takes like... Each match takes like half an hour to play. So I'm thinking about recording that, and then just doing like one video a week while I work on smaller projects. Or maybe there'll be some Payday 2 in the background. I don't know what I'm going to put behind this, just... I'll either give something to watch, or if you want to just mute the video... Did I really just say that? I'm thinking about YouTubers I've watched where they just stand in front of the camera and they're like, just minimize the video. Yeah, mute the video. If you guys want to, you could just mute the video and just let it play. I'm an idiot. I can't believe I said that. Okay. So, last year, I got a letter in the mail from the Indiana Revenue Service. That was just suddenly out of the blue. Hi, you owe $800 in back taxes from 2013. What the hell are you talking about? That was 4 years ago. What? And I give them a phone call. And I don't know why it took them 4 years to figure that out, but they're just like, yeah, you didn't file your taxes that year. I used TurboTax that year. What are you talking about? So it turns out what happened, here, let me relax. What happened was TurboTax filed my federal tax, but they didn't file my state. And they didn't tell me. Even though that doesn't make any sense, because in case you don't use TurboTax, it helps you do your taxes. It basically fills in like all the blanks for you, which I only know because they tried mailing me like a letter that had like 17 pages of like, here, fill it out yourself. They were like, oh, okay, here, you can just redo your taxes. And it was like, I had to call them back and be like, I can't do this because you need like your S40 form. And you needed like 7 forms to reference each other to fill out like the regular form for your taxes. And it's like, I don't have this information from 4 years ago. Because 4 years ago was the first time I ever did my taxes. At least on TurboTax anyway. So, what was my point of that? I hate when my brain train derails itself. It does that a lot. What was I saying? Brain, come on, work with me. Oh, the point was, it fills out the information for you. TurboTax tells you when you haven't done something yet. You do your federal first, and then you do your state. If I didn't do my state, at the end when it was like, hey, let's review everything, it would have said, you haven't done your state yet. I know that, because when you skip stuff, it shows you everything that you skipped. I even went back into the program and tried to pretend to like do it again. And you click skip and it does tell you that like, hey, you haven't done your state yet. I call, long story short with TurboTax anyway, I call them and they deny the entire thing. They're like, you didn't, because you can log onto the website in your account and it'll show you little squares that you can click for each year. All the years, the 3 years after the 2013 year, that's always confusing to me. It's like, I think it's like April 15th of 2014. That's the year it's due. So in 2014, it's the entire year of 2013. That always kind of confused me. Anyway, every year after that, it shows like my state and my federal return. But then the 2013 year, it says started. It doesn't say filed. So that sounds like, oh, well, you didn't file. Before I called TurboTax, I called the IRS to confirm like money that was in my bank account from that year, because I know I got a return that year. And the guy at the IRS is like, yeah, we have your federal from that year. So it's really strange. TurboTax is telling me that I didn't file either of them, but then the IRS is telling me we have your federal from that year. So TurboTax just didn't want to admit that they screwed up. Anyway, so I'm in constant contact with, I have to keep saying, I'll say Indiana for the sake of conversation, because if I say IRS, which is kind of funny, they have the same abbreviation, you'll think the bigger IRS. No, I'm talking about the Indiana Revenue System. The Indiana's own tax thingy. I was in constant contact with them the entire time. I think I got the letter in like May or something, and I was going back and forth with them. They just kept sending me letters left and right. It was like, you need to start a payment plan. And I kept calling them like, I'm not paying this. Let me look for my W-2s. Let me get my stuff figured out. There is no way that a man who isn't self-employed, who's never worked for himself, that worked 2 jobs that year, where obviously taxes are taken out of my paycheck, owes you $800 in taxes. Let me get up. There we go. Well, the Indiana... Let me raise the mic here, sorry. I'll listen to this back. I hope that didn't make like a noise. So the Indiana... I was just going to say Indiana. So Indiana just goes, we don't care. We want our money. Screw you. Indiana's lucky that I check my bank account before I go buy groceries, before I go do stuff. Because the night I was going to get paid it started in August, all this crap with them. The night I get, thanks, mouth. I bank through PNC, so even though my paycheck is actually on Monday, I get paid every 2 weeks. PNC sees the money coming in around midnight on Friday, and PNC is good with, they trust you because it's from a company. It's like, this is clearly from Pizza Hut. This is a paycheck. So they let you, it'll say pending in your account, but they just let you have it. So the point of telling you that is, on Friday, I check my bank account so I can see what my money is, so I can start typing it into my budget. That, and I'll have it when I get up that Saturday morning. I work all day, 7 to 2, 5 to 8. I do 2 little split shifts at Pizza Hut. So maybe between my splits, I'll walk over to Dollar General and go grocery shopping. I checked my bank account that night. Now, PNC has, there's 3 accounts for you, just so you're not confused. Spend, reserve, and growth. Think of it like a computer organizing like pictures and stuff with like folders. Think of it like that. Spend is where all your money goes into at first. Reserve is just kind of like a backup if you want to like budget your money. So if you have like $50, you can put like 20 in your spend, take 30 of it and put it in your reserve. Growth is kind of like a savings thing. If you put it in your growth, they'll give you like a penny every like 4 months that you leave money in there. Anyway, sorry. I'm rambling. All 3, so that's, now you understand when I say all 3 of my accounts, the spend said like -700, and the other 2 said like -400. And I'm losing my mind. Not to trail off too far, but I'm a guy who's been laid off. I was laid off from like 12 jobs. through temp services with no warning, even though I worked at one for like a freaking year, just out of the blue, just like, you lost your job, and struggled to, I'll make a, maybe not draw my life, but I'll make a series of videos someday. The point of me explaining that is I've been through enough shit in my life where it's not just, oh no, my bank accounts are negative, I should be stressed about it. No, I'm like a dog that's been kicked 1,000 times, and seeing that is basically me being in a kennel and a big scary guy just walked in. So yeah, I've been through enough crap, so yeah. Even though I'm self-diagnosed, I'm pretty sure I have depression, a little depression and a little anxiety. That didn't help. So I immediately jump in front of my computer. It's freaking 1 a.m. I work at 7 a.m. the next morning. But, you know, it was like, I don't care. Boy, the way this is going, I think I'm going to... We're at 11 minutes. I think I'm going to have to put in the Titanfall 2 footage. I think I'm going to hit half an hour. I log on, and of course, all the helplines are closed because it's like 1 a.m. But there was like a fraud service that was open like 24/7. And I was just like, screw it, I'm talking to somebody. I don't care. And the guy tried to assure me, he was like, oh, it's just like the servers like updating overnight and everything. So if you wake up in the morning and it's still like that, you should call somebody. So of course it was still like that. So I call back and they tell me like, yeah, your bank account's been levied. That's the first time in my life I ever heard that. I was like, what the hell does that mean? Oh, it means somebody outside just locked your account, so you don't have access to it. Who locked my account? Oh, the Northern, what are they called? The North American Credit Union, whatever. So I get off work. You know, I go to bed. I get off work. Well, I already said I called them. I called PNC. I call the credit people, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing with my money? Oh, Indiana told us to lock your account because you owe them money. But I don't owe them money. What the hell are you talking about? And I have a calm, polite conversation with a lady, and she's like, I can get you my manager if you like. I was like, yes, please. I need to talk to somebody. So I tell her the whole spiel. I tell her about TurboTax. I tell her about being in contact with these people. I work 2 jobs and everything. And this is the funny, yeah, that's the funny part about it. The people at Northern Credit, the people who locked my account, were more understanding than the people who told them to do it. You'll know why when this story's over. Everything that Indiana put me through. I had a $480 paycheck, which is one of the biggest paychecks I've ever made because I worked a bunch of extra hours. I was going to be in the black, finally, after months of struggling. I won't get into that, just I was struggling financially. I had $200 of that paycheck free. I was going to go out to eat. I was going to walk over to like Wendy's and get something. I was going to buy a couple extra groceries that week, and that still would have left me like 100 and, see, I said 200. I still would have had like 180 bucks that I was going to put into savings. The lady was told that she had to take all of the money. She was going to take all 480 of it. But they were understanding because after I told the story, the manager lady was like, I can let you keep the 80 bucks and we'll just take the 400. But then regardless of what they took, I had to agree over the phone that I was going to be charged $188. I told her what my paycheck dates were. I pulled up my calendar. It's like I was going to be charged $188, my second paycheck of September and my second paycheck of October, which I had to agree to. And I told the lady, like, I only have $200 of this paycheck free. And she was like, there's nothing I can do, which is horse shit. It's like, you should take the money that I can give you. So I just lost $400 of a $480 paycheck. I call Indiana and I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing? And they're like, oh, you know, we got to follow the policies and you owe the money, which I actually don't. Months go by. I end up paying the $188 in September because when you don't have like records of all your old stuff, it's really hard to find W-2s for a job you worked at 4 freaking years ago. Which turned out to be really easy, and I wish I had figured this out sooner. I pay the $188, and I'm struggling financially. Thank God my apartment here lets me... Your rent's due on the 1st, but it's late after the 10th, so I would have, like, my first paycheck of each month on, like, the 7th or the 9th, so I could take money out of that, because, you know, you're supposed to use the 2 paychecks of the previous month. Like, your 2 paychecks in November are supposed to pay your December rent. You're not supposed to cough up all the money from your first paycheck in December to pay it. I had like $10 to buy 2 weeks worth of food, people. And then if I needed like toilet paper or something, I had even less food. Thank God my mother was helping me out. She was like helping me with groceries and stuff. I really appreciate her doing that. So I find out after doing enough research and making multiple phone calls, trying to even figure out where I worked at in the first place. Because when you've been through as many jobs as I have been, it's really hard to remember. It's like, oh, right, I was working through these 2 staffing places. And if you just log onto their websites, your W-2s are right there. It's like, I wish I'd figured that out sooner. Doesn't change the fact they shouldn't have stolen my money. Yeah, let's get that off my chest. Like, I don't care. Like, that's theft. When you lock somebody out of their account, and then they have to call you, and it's like, yeah, we're taking it. That's theft. You stole my money. Indiana, go to hell. So I find the W-2s, and I call them, and I'm like, hey, I found my W-2s. Oh, wait, no, here, we have to back up a little bit. I called them furious. I'm like, you guys need to figure out that I don't owe you this money. And they're like, oh yeah, well, we're looking into it. We're processing it. Whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. And she's like, well, it could take 8 to 9 weeks. It's going to take longer because we don't have your W-2s. Yeah, because the state of Indiana doesn't know where I work. You know my phone number, you know my email, you know my address. Well, okay, I had to tell them my email, I'm just saying. It's like, how do you not know where I work? If they don't, I'm just angry, that's all. Well, Jack, that's the point of W-2s. Like, shut up, I don't care. It's still stupid. 2 weeks... No, wait, like 4 weeks into that processing time is when I found my W-2s. And I call them, and I say, hey, I found them. Do you guys need these? And I was told, no, we're good. Thank you, though. So I wait. It gets to the 5th week. Not 5 weeks after I found them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they started, 4 weeks went by, I found them. So 1 week went by, that'd be the 5th, just so no one's confused. So I wait. 8 weeks go by. 9 weeks go by. Finally, at the end of the 9th week, going into the 10th, I call them and I'm like, hi, what's going on? Because Indiana, through this whole process, just decides, we have your money, so we don't care, so we're not going to take the time to contact you. No phone calls, no email. We don't care. We have your money. We don't need to do anything. I call them, and I didn't mention this part before, but it's really short, so it's okay. And they're like, well, we're still processing. We're having trouble because, you know, there's this form you submitted that they told me to submit. we're having trouble like cross-referencing it with. We have like information on our end, and then there's like info that you submitted for like your W-2s that you didn't have without them. Like you told us you were. It was just all this bullshit. It was like, okay, so I'm just sitting here for like 6 freaking weeks, and you can't even tell me that you're having a problem with this. And then the lady's just like, do you have your W-2s by chance? I was literally sitting here in front of my computer with both of them open in like an Adobe PDF thing. I was like, yes, I have them. Like, can you email them to me? Yes, I can email them to you. I emailed them to the lady, and I wait 4 more weeks. 6 more weeks. They levied my bank account at the beginning of August. They charged my card at the end of September. I found the W-2s. Oh, we have to mention that real quick. That was a scare. I called them to double check to make sure, like, now that you have my W-2s and you can clearly see that I grossed like $14,000 that year, like, you need to cancel the payment in October. I was really worried they were going to charge me for that, which I didn't have. After paying all my bills and everything, I had like $20. It's like, I don't have $188 to pay this. Luckily, they didn't. So months just keep going by. November, December. I just kind of assumed like maybe I have to wait another 8-9 weeks. And I get fed up. On the 3rd of this year, I write that lady a giant long email. I was thinking about bringing it up. I don't need to. Basically, it was everything I'm telling you. Like, this is horseshit. The complete and total lack of communication. The complete and total just we're even though you've been in contact with us, we're just gonna go behind your back and levy your account and just steal your money. The just completely unprofessional nature of that. Just like, whatever, we're just going to take your money and then we're just going to take our sweet time giving it back. We don't care. We think you owe us money and we have it, so it's not really our problem. I even ended the letter with like, I'm going to call a freaking lawyer if you guys don't start dealing with this crap. No response. Nothing. For weeks. Let's see, it's the 21st right now. So I called them because like one of my New Year's resolutions for this year, it wasn't even like official. It wasn't like at midnight like everybody does. Like, what am I going to do this year? It just kind of hit me, was like, I'm done taking shit. Like, I'm done being nice. If I call and they tell me like we're still processing, I'm going off on somebody. I've worked in like retail and customer service for the last like 11 years of my life. So besides being a kind, generous human being, I have that behind me, which is why I treat people behind a desk with respect. But it's just like, you guys have $588 of my money that you have, that you're not supposed to have, and you are taking your sweet ass time giving it back to me. Oh, I even forgot to mention, after I submitted my W-2s, they had me file my taxes again. I called them right away. I forgot about the $174. I forgot to mention that. I called them and I was like, I just did my taxes, like you told me to. That was the paperwork they were having trouble with. Well, you submitted your taxes that year. We're having trouble cross-referencing. Like, cross-referencing with what? If I didn't file them that year, which is what you're saying, because TurboTax didn't send them to you, to cross-reference something, you have to have 2 pieces of paper that both have words on them. If you don't have, you know what I'm saying? That's what cross-referencing is. I have this piece of paper with words, with the number 14. We have another one that says 13, so we're confused, trying to reference these. You don't have an original paper to begin with. You have my paper that says 14, so 14's the number. What's there to be confused with? Anyway, so I tell them, like, I did the taxes from that year. It's like, I don't owe you $800. You owe me $174. So let me click over here real quick because I already forgot the number. I'm glad making this video. This is just me venting to get it out. So 588 plus, please excuse the keyboard clicking. It's like, you owe me $762. Whew. I get 2 letters from Indiana. The only communication that they sent me. The first letter I got December 4th. It was dated December 4th. I got it, it was in my mailbox December 6th. It took 2 days for that letter to go from Indianapolis to the city of Warsaw where I live. So there's no excuse why they couldn't have sent me letters. There's no excuse why they couldn't have communicated anything with me about this. Boy, this is a long video. And there, in that letter from December 4th, they tell me, so it's been more than 3 years. We're not giving you that we don't have to give you that $174. Which is cute because it's their policy. It's our rule says that we don't have to give you your money from that year. Which at first I kind of brushed off. I was like, fine, I don't care about the 174. I just want my 588. In the email I wrote her, it was like, you can write an appeal. In the email I wrote like, I'm not appealing that. If you're going to hold me accountable for $800 that I don't owe you from 3 years ago, I sure as hell am going to hold you accountable for $174 that you actually owe me. And I'm waiting, still assuming there's processing. It's like I don't have the time or the patience to like call them like every week to try to figure out what the hell they're doing over there. I called them like 2-3 days ago. And I'm like, hello, what's going on with my case? It's freaking January. Let's see, today's the 21st. It's Sunday. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I called them. It must have been like Wednesday. I was like, it's the 17th. It's January 17th. Where the hell is my money? What is going on? I get a letter in the mail that says, we're giving your tax return from 2013 to Ivy Tech, a college that I owe like $430 to. It's a really long story that has to be saved for my life video. But I owe them money because I threw away a textbook because I didn't return it. And before that sounds stupid, I was in a point in my life where I was so stressed that I was like, I canceled my 2 college classes I was taking because I was like, I'm having enough stress in my life right now. I don't want to get into it. It's just like abuse with like my stepfather and crap like that. So I was so stressed, I didn't think like, oh, I need to drive back there and return the books. I just threw it right in the trash. So I owed them for that book. I called them because the letter's like, oh, we gave Ivy Tech $430. I only had $174 from Indiana. Did you just... And I call them. Yes. The guy tells me, yeah, you owed Indiana. Let me bring up the calculator. I did it with him sitting right here. We go 588. And the guy goes, yeah, you owed money to Ivy Tech, so we gave the money to them. We stole your money, and Of course, no communication, didn't even tell me. We stole your money from your bank account, charged 188 to your account, told you nothing for months, and then Ivy Tech was like, hey, you know, he owes us money. Oh, well, here's some of his money. Take it. And then they charged me I don't have the paper. I'm not going to get up. It's on my table. They gave them $430, and they charged me a $65 transaction fee. Oh, sure. I have to pay for you to give my money to somebody else. So it was like 490 something. I'll just type that into the calculator. So I was like, okay, what about the $98 that's left? Oh, you're going to love this. So the guy tells me, which, of course, my account was levied in freaking August of last year. Let's see, August, September, October, January. So with my fingers, that's 5 freaking months ago. I was like, so where's the $98 then? You gonna send me a check for $98? The guy goes, oh, did anybody tell you about the fees for the levy? What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, we charged you a fee for when we levied your bank account. I have to pay money. You locked my bank account and took money from it, and I have to pay for you to steal my money. They took $400 out of my account, and I'm expected to pay like an $80, $90 whatever fee. Now, I love my mother, but she was just explaining like, well, yeah, Taylor, like the bank, they have to charge. There's like a fee and stuff like that. Like okay, because my mother, I don't know if I said that. My mother works at the bank. It's like, okay, I get that. What? I have to pay for you to steal my money. So the good news is my debt to the college is not like my student loan debt, just like money I owe the building itself is taken care of. So I could take like some college classes, which I'm thinking of doing. That's just me trying to look on the bright side. So who knows? Maybe in another 3 freaking years, maybe there'll be like, maybe the fee, you know, it was like $98 that was left. Maybe the fee was only $80. So maybe there'll be a check for me in 10 freaking millennials in my mailbox for $18 from Indiana. And I can go buy myself some lunch at Wendy's. No communication, no contact, no letters, nothing. That's the short of it, anybody. Indiana believed that I owed money. I didn't actually owe it. They stole my money. They charged my money. Then, without telling me, gave it to somebody else. Indiana, my debt to Ivy Tech is none of your business. You took my money, you give it to me, and then Ivy Tech can write me a fucking letter. I was trying to relax on the cursing, but I'm gonna throw that one in there. Here's another one. Hey, Indiana Revenue Service, go fuck yourself. At least one of my debts are paid, I guess. That's the only good thing about it. Wow, 34 minutes. I am definitely going to have to put the Titanfall Frontier Defense footage. I don't think I can get half an hour of Payday 2 footage. You know, I've been watching Boogie 2988, there we go, videos, and he says and tweets all the time how when he makes a video like this, it's kind of like therapy. It makes him feel better. I haven't even uploaded the video yet. I'm still just sitting here in front of Audacity, and I feel really relaxed. Like, I felt a little better when I called my mother and I told her about it. Like, I feel really good right now. I can't, I'm gonna, it's 1 a.m. Sunday. I'm gonna work 7 to 2 tomorrow. I'm gonna get off work. I'm gonna play a round of Frontier Defense, recording it, and then I'll get this rendered. Excuse me. I'll get this rendered and I'll have it uploaded. Well, anybody, if you've made it this far out of sheer curiosity, like, because I'm gonna be honest, it's not a clickbait thing. I'm gonna title the video, like, how I lost $588. I guess that's all I have to call it. Just like how I lost $588. It's not clickbait. It's just me being honest. Oh my god. I'm just gonna end on this. Just if you're wondering, like, did that really? That doesn't. Maybe you make more than I do. It's like, if that doesn't sound like too much to you. Do you people? I make $700 a month. Here, let's do this. I almost said live. Here, let me open my budget real quick. People, I make like $700 a month, and I pay. Hang on. I use LibreOffice. Come on, open your little Excel sheet clone thingy. Come on. People are waiting. Come on. I don't want to hit 40 minutes. There we go. I make like $700 a month, and I pay like $670 in bills. Usually a little less. Oh, this is the old one where, yeah, my electric bill jumped up $30 because it's been like negative 13 degrees here. So I've had to keep my heater on. So when normally I have like $40 to buy food for 2 weeks, which that's pretty good for one person. So even if I drop that, like, I make $700 a month, I pay like $630 in bills. Does that sound like somebody who can lose, who has a paycheck that's $200 free, losing $200 at the end of the September, losing $188? Does that sound like somebody who can lose $588? No, it really doesn't. Indiana, you fucked me. And you don't have to pay for it. Indiana Revenue Service, go to hell. Anybody, if you made it this far, thank you for listening. I think this is the longest I've ever talked. I've ever recorded my voice. Probably should have brought some water with me. I really hope everything's coming out clear. I don't want to do this recording again. Okay, anybody, thank you for listening, and I feel better now for sharing this. Expect some content from me in 2018. I'm still working on my game. That's a lie. I'll jump back into it, and I'm hoping to have some video projects up soon. I will see you guys later. Fuck you, Indiana.